Welcome back to Crystal Clear! I'm ARTWITHKODA, and this is going to be one of those kinda different episodes of the show. I'm not really here to theorize or speculate, I'm here to just communicate some thoughts and feelings with my audience, with fellow fans of Steven Universe. As of the Steven Universe Future episode Volleyball, we once again, not too long after the movie, have reignited discourse around the character of Pink Diamond. Now, I know a lot of our videos around Pink have been, negative to say the least. Between my initial reaction to a single pill rose, Tom's quick chat discussing the reaction to Pink Diamond abandoning Spinel in the movie, and I'm sure a multitude of exaggerated quick jabs I squeeze in here and there, a lot of viewers who enjoy Pink Diamond's character and like her probably have a hard time watching not just this channel, but just being around the fan base in certain periods. And as a cynical jokester, I probably will always make some kind of Pink Diamond jab, but at this point, I really will clarify when this is just for fun. And this less applies to my videos and more towards social media, where I tend to clown on all of these characters because I do enjoy watching them. Yet, I feel as if Volleyball communicated something with me, something that I feel is overlooked in the fandom at this current point in time. Yeah, Pink Diamond naysayers swearing up and down that this was the final straw, she's garbage, she's trash, she can't be forgiven. But on the other hand, you have Pink Diamond supporters who I've seen use the same argument more and more recently, that this outrage in Pink Diamond is only increasing because we're getting her character arc in reverse. That when we met her, it was at the end of her journey, where she became the good Samaritan she always strived to be, and that the current hate, whether if it's warranted or not, is a result of other fans reacting to how she started rather than how she ended. And honestly, I'm kind of mixed on this statement. While yes, Pink Diamond objectively became a better person once she adopted the persona of Rose Quartz, I wouldn't say that leads to a conclusion of, oh, when she gave up her physical form to become Steven, her character arc came to a beautiful full circle. And I feel like a lot of this notion dismisses what Rebecca Sugar herself has said. Before Single Pill Rose even aired and we knew of Rose Quartz's true identity, Sugar stated on the podcast that Rose Quartz was kind of an awful person. And during her Barnes & Noble signings after the movie, she made no effort to defend Pink Diamond, instead implying that the backlash towards his character was more or less the reaction she wanted to see, stating that she was glad people are thinking critically about Pink Diamond as a character now. I feel like that's not something you would say if you also want people to think, oh, well, you know, you're getting the development in reverse, she's not that bad of a person, and we need to see the bigger picture in the proper order. Especially if she was saying that on the heel of Steven Universe Future, something that's wasted no time to touch on Steven's issues. But before I get into my thesis, I want to examine Pink Diamond or Rose Quartz as who she was when she passed on. The day she gave up her life for Steven's, she was someone who relinquished her status on Homeworld, leaving that life behind in order to ensure the Earth and its people would be able to survive, and so that Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl can continue to be independent gems. She was someone who, thanks to Greg, finally began to see human beings as who they truly are, and not just a fascinating novelty. Fans often scold her for how she treated Greg in We Need to Talk, and understandably so, laughing in Greg's face was not cool. But condemning that against her ignores what followed in that very conversation. Understanding. I do believe in creating Steven, Pink wasn't running away from her problems, she was trying to rectify them. Rectifying them in the most beautiful way possible by creating a new life, in a way parallel to how gems are created, taking nothing from the Earth but everything from herself. That being said, we can't just cut things off there, because while that is a good picture-perfect image of Rose, even if you write off most of the things she did as Pink Diamond, she still died with a lot of unnecessary baggage for Steven to inherit. Considering she was going to give up her physical form anyways, there was no reason for her to really deny the Crystal Gems closure. And sure, she really would not have been able to provide closure to her death, but obviously there was a lot with the Gem Wars she swept under the rug, being unable to ever be called out on it because she told Garnet to never ask questions. Pearl was forbidden from ever speaking about Pink Diamond, and wouldn't have dreamed to put Rose in such a compromising position in the first place. And Amethyst, she emerged after the war. So although I'm sure she had questions, I'm not sure Amethyst was aware of what questions she would even want to ask. There was really no reason for her to spare the details that she was Pink Diamond, to keep Bismuth bubbled in Lion's mane, to never tell Pearl about Lion, to never even leave a plan for the prospect of Homeworld returning. Because although it appears they did leave Earth alone until the events of Laser Light Cannon, you're telling me Pink never had the suspicion that, oh, maybe, just maybe, they could come back for more. she still left without informing anyone of her ship and their whereabouts. While I can imagine Pearl and Garnet potentially knew about Pink Diamond's ship and just assumed it was abandoned because, well, Rose shattered her, were they aware of Rose's landfill? All of those secrets and mementos she left behind? Now, some things I believe were genuinely out of her control, like Spinel. Because let's say, even if the crystal gems were aware, and Pink Diamond truly didn't forget about Spinel in those 6,000 years. Subtract Steven's age away from that if you want. It is possible that in activating Pink Diamond's ship, Homeworld and the Diamonds could have been notified that, hey, the ship's active. I could understand that being a gamble that really wasn't worth risking. Spinel could have been just one of those situations where it was smarter for Pink to stay away. It was a horrible action she was never able to rectify without risking even more horrible things happening, but at the same time, who caused that problem in the first place? Pink! You get the idea. While the statement of reverse development is true, it doesn't completely justify who Pink Diamond was by the end. And ultimately, while you can perceive it as, well, she kept all those secrets to avoid hurting anybody, you have to think why they would hurt in the first place. And in that regard, I believe Pink knew exactly what she was doing by taking those secrets to the grave, potentially even leaving it for Steven to solve. But there's really one thing about the statement of reverse development that I personally don't want to disrespect or disregard, but find it kind of weird to apply in Steven Universe Future. We already could have came to that conclusion by the end of Steven Universe or the movie, but two, who is our main character again? Steven! One of the most empathetic, compassionate people in fiction. Do we really not think that Steven of all people would already know that? That he already knows who his mom was by the end of her lifespan? I'm sure that's a huge factor as to why he can't handle hearing more horrible things about her. We as an audience are experiencing this journey with Steven, and Steven, especially at this point in time, is level-headed enough to understand that just because he's learning more horrible things about his mom doesn't mean how his mom ended up should be erased. The idea of reverse development doesn't really apply when you look at Future, because it's not about Steven hating his mom or thinking she's a horrible person because of the things she did before she changed. Not to mention Steven's always been conflicted about her, before he even knew she shattered Pink Diamond. I never forgot that quick moment in Steven Floats.
I just have to think happy thoughts and no negative thoughts. Mom? Oh geez, those feelings are complicated.
While we're all entitled to our opinions and feelings, I would say both sides are kind of jumping the gun. And that brings me to my thesis, what I took away from Volleyball. Steven Universe Future is an epilogue series to Steven Universe. A big focus of Steven Universe was Pink Diamond. Thus, arguably the biggest loose end in Future is Steven coming to a finite conclusion of his mother and how he feels about her, and thus how the audience should feel about her in a way. Now, defending Pink Diamond and completely denouncing Pink Diamond, I do think that's a part of Sugar's plan. But I think the fatal flaw we've been making all this time is that no matter what side you're on, we've been coming to definite conclusions. Something that may not be wise to do because ultimately, the show itself alongside Sugar and the Crewniverse is working up to that definite conclusion. I believe Steven Universe Future will end when Steven figures out just exactly how he feels about his mom, something he never came to terms with. That being said, I think we are going to learn more horrible things about Pink Diamond, but I think we're going to learn more good things about her as well. And should that be the case, how does the reverse development work out then? It's an argument being used really early into this epilogue series. Yeah, we went further back for the 4th episode of however long this is, but wouldn't it make sense to get bits and pieces of the good she's done as well? Ultimately, I'm excited to see where this goes, what Steven's conclusion on his mother will be, and from there, the definitive conclusions we can make, because that story will finally be over. But as it stands, it's really not over yet. I've been jumping to conclusions about Pink Diamond from the second we got confirmation of the twist, but now I'm going to keep an open mind. Not really a hater or supporter. And regardless of how you feel about Pink Diamond, if you still enjoy her character, you should be able to do that shamelessly regardless of what anybody thinks. After all, the show is still entertainment. If you're entertained, allured, and fascinated by her, then all that means is that the crew is doing a great job. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I want to hear yours, I guess. That's not a definite conclusion, because I just said we shouldn't really be making those just yet. At this current point in time, how do you feel about Pink Diamond? And what do you think Steven's ultimate resolution on her will be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at ARTWITHKODA. We're also on Instagram. Special thanks to ARTWITHKODA for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his wonderful art, you can find him on Tumblr and Instagram at ARTWITHKODA, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Link down below in the description. Help Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. ARTWITHKODA, signing out.